So, I have a message I need to get out. I do not normally come live at these times of the hours. However, I was pushed to release a message, as I know this is a message for the collective, that the collective needs to hear right now. And so I'm just taking this moment to release this message before I go to sleep. So I kept hearing stay in the heart. I've been hearing stay in the heart, stay in the heart, stay in the heart. And of course we have the full moon in Leo coming up real shortly. And Leo deals with the heart. So of course it's quite interesting as to how this message is coming up right now. But one of the other messages I was hearing was the mind will trick you. The mind will always play tricks on you, but the heart will never trick you. The heart is the space of truth. Your heart is the seat of truth. And when we begin to channel deeper into the subtle influences of our heart, this is the true intelligence. This is where the true intelligence of our soul is able to channel and express itself not only to ourselves, but to the people around us. I was seeing these visuals and these images of the collective. I saw like a load of people that had been activated, and they were in this upper room, like literally above the firmament, and they were activated. And when I say they were activated, they were actually activated within their own divine giftings. And it's quite interesting because this upper room is also depicted within the Bible and in Acts. And this was in the time of Pentecost. And I feel like this is a revival of this energy right now as the collective is coming online. And the collective is now operating within their individual giftings, which is able to activate not only their selves, but the people around them. And so the message that I was getting was, you're going to be told to do some things, or you may feel the urge to do some things that may not make sense. They may not make sense to your mind, but it will make sense to your heart. You might just be urged to just go outside in the forest and just start dancing. But you don't know what you're shifting whilst you're dancing. You don't know what you're moving spiritually whilst you're dancing. You may be led to just release a sound or release a tone. It may not make sense, but you don't know what you're impacting. The butterfly effect. I'm seeing butterflies right now. We don't know what impact we're doing by the little subtle things that we may do that may not make sense to our mind, but it makes perfect sense to our heart, because our hearts are creating with our intentions. And one of the other messages I was getting through was to mind the mind. The mind is in its optimum force right now and in its most powerful state, where it can create everything it's thinking. And so we have to really be so mindful of this self-talk and this self-chatter, because we are literally creating as we're thinking. So what are you thinking? What are you putting with, what are the thoughts that you are releasing into the ethers? Because this is actually creating our timeline. I also saw words. We have to be mindful of the things that we're saying, even within the experience that we're having within the 3D. It doesn't matter about all of these politics and all of these 3D distractions that are taking place. Be mindful of how you're getting drawn into narratives and how you're repeating. We're being tricked because we're speaking our own demise. We're speaking the nightmares that we don't want to experience. We're speaking them into existence. So again, I ask you, what are you thinking and what are you creating? As a collective, what are we thinking and what are we creating? We are literally scripting our existence, our reality, through our own energetic vibrations, and this is why we have to become more responsible of what we are putting out within the ethers. This is why shadow work is important, because we're taking responsibility for ourselves and what energetic imprints we're also releasing into this collective experience. We are all responsible for the chaos that we're currently experiencing. The question is, are you taking responsibility for how you have also contributed towards this mess? That is the question. And so my heart has been pulsating so strong for the last 2 hours, because the heart wants to be brought back to attention. Right now we're caught up in our minds. Everyone wants to be seen for how much information they have and how much knowledge they have, forgetting that none of that matters, because all of that information will be in your head and you won't be able to connect to anyone because no one can feel you. And we all want to be felt. We all want to be felt, but we're so trapped in the mind. We are so trapped in the mind. So what are you going to do to contribute towards this new reality that we want to be able to create? I was seeing the collective as individual instruments, each releasing a sound, each creating a song. We are literally creating a song, creating a brand new universe. I saw some people just releasing sounds. I saw some people literally just taking that plunge and not even fearing and going and laying hands on some of their family members and believing that they're going to be healed. In fact, that they're not going to, just believing healing. Like speaking cellular structures to come back into alignment. Activation, actually walking in your gift in real time. We all have the ability to contribute to this new world, but we don't all understand our giftings. And you begin to understand your giftings when you begin to walk in your giftings. So walk in the things that don't make sense. Do the things that don't make sense. Tap into that heart resonance. Allow your heart to speak to you. Allow the heart to speak to you. and allow the heart to speak through you. That's the message. So yeah, I wanted to release that message before I went to sleep. That was just a direct channel that I was receiving for the last 2 hours, and Spirit was like, you will not go to sleep until you release that message to the collective. So if you resonate with this message, then cool, let's go. Let's move forward. Spread on the message, and let's move in light.